All right, how was y'all doing? How y'all doing this Saturday?
Pretty
Feeling
good.
good, bro. How are you?
I'm doing pretty
Oh,
good.
sorry.
No, that's good. How did y'all trade any this week?
I didn't. I was traveling.
Okay, I know
I
James.
only time to take 2 trades this week.
Okay,
One winner, one loser.
okay, that's good. Um, so this trade is going to be about order blocks, and I'm not going to go into advanced order blocks and mitigation and all that. I'm just going to keep it very simple for this training specifically, and then as we go down the line, um, I will get more in detail on how to understand order blocks more and more and more. Uh, but in this specific training, I'm gonna keep it simple because I know a lot of people don't know exactly how to, identify them, and they don't know if they do identify them. They don't know if they're in the right direction or, which way to when to take them, how to take them. So I'm going to give you guys a my take on it and my perspective on how I take order blocks because people take there's different order blocks. People take order blocks in different ways. But so let's get started. So order blocks is considered a market behavior that indicates the pileup of orders from banks and institutions. You see those order blocks when I talk about order blocks, those are where the banks. That's where their money is at. So if their money is there, you might want to pay attention to exactly, what's going on in those areas.
Sorry, Mel Fadul. Would you mind muting your mic? I can hear it all like feedback.
Oh,
Was that Mustafa or Mustafa?
Melodol.
Thanks, bro.
Okay. Yeah. So the market started ranging around, building the order blocks. And what they're doing is basically grabbing a bunch of orders from the top and the bottom. And they determine on, the decision they want to make when it comes to, how they want to react off that order block. So, and the market tends to make sharp moves on either side of the market. When the order block is completed. So basically, when we get an order block, we kind of can tell, a lot of times what the market's going to do, especially from a higher time frame order block. Because market structure is okay, but as you get down, more in depth into the market, you want to know, where the banks are at and what they're doing and where they're coming from. How can I get in this trade and have the least amount of risk to make the most reward? So there's three rules that I go by. First, I want to find out what the market structure is doing, and as I'm speaking it, as I'm showing this stuff, I'm going to explain it too, and on the chart too. But we want to know where the market is going. What I mean by that is, are we buying or selling? That's why I have these boxes on the chart. So we want to know if we're buying or selling. Uh, then you want to pick your supply and demand zone. You want to find your supply and demand zone in the direction of that trend. And then you want to, have confirmations. Now, I know, like I said, I added a 13 and 50 to show you guys that you can use a 13 and 50 to take order block because I see that you like 13 and 50, right, James?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, the 13 and 50 you can use, and I just want to show you can use it to find entries um because it's with the trend. So that's a plus too. So that would be your confirmation of when you would want to look for, being a buyer or a seller interested in buying and selling. So
Are you are these still the 4 hour boxes or are they like 1 hour ones as well?
So no, these are not 4 hour boxes, and I'm going to explain why in a minute.
Okay, cool.
So these are the 4 hour boxes here, guys. So if we're on the 4-hour box and we know even though I know sometimes boxes get broken, this is going to help you out a lot to know what's going on with the market. If you're following order blocks help you to not get caught up in a trade that you're not supposed to be in. And I will elaborate on that a little more.
I can kind of see 2 order blocks here. Like ever since I've rewatched your training,
Yeah,
it's crazy how it's just basically a bunch of order blocks. Support and resistance is kind of like,
right. It's like I feel like that's the true support and resistance, but
yeah. Like where your
that,
mouse is now, just above there, and order blocks, it pinned up and dropped. And then where price is right now, it's at that previous order block there on the left.
right
The
here,
price here is all the way, that one underneath the red box. It's sort of like pinned to that order block there. The
right
red
here.
box, sorry, all the
Really?
way up there. That's like down, like that kind of there, that massive order block there up. I don't know if that looks like an order block to you, but here where the price is pinning it, just below. Right, is that an order block to the left of that?
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that is an order block. What I'm going to explain the order blocks because
All right. Anyway, yeah.
This order block here specifically is a buying order block.
Oh, okay.
If it's going up, if price going up and you get a selling candle and price is going up, that's for price to come back and retest and go back up.
Right. Okay.
If it's going down and you get a green candle, or no green candle, but you get a buying order block, which is price goes up and then it starts shifting back down, this is considered a selling order block.
Right. Got you. Okay. Sorry,
Okay.
I interrupted your. Yep.
No, it's okay. I understand. You still, we're learning about what's going on the chart. So, okay. So basically, I want you guys to understand whenever you see, these support and resistance areas right here, 1, up here, 2, automatically think that, there's a lot of liquidity over here, right here. There's a lot of liquidity right here. There's a lot of liquidity down here, right? A lot of liquidity right here. And there's a lot of liquidity right here. You see these highs, the equal highs here? Retail traders are looking for entries here. And they're getting in, which they did possibly get in. And I don't know if they tried to take it down here or not, but as you can see, it came and shifted back up and took them out. If they had it, because most people have small stop losses, they don't want to risk too much, and it goes up and take them out, right? So what we're going to explain now is these order blocks and how to really harness these order blocks to make it better, make your trading better. So let's go. Once we establish, let's say we establish that this is a selling trend, right? We're in a selling trend here. We're in a selling trend right here, right? So once I understand that, we can go to the 15, guys. And if you don't know if that's a selling trend, you can just go down to the daily and you can see the daily is coming off a sale too. So it's selling on the daily too. So we coming off the daily, we coming off a box off the daily and it's selling, right? We go to the 4-hour, we're definitely selling. We know this is not buying. And how you know that is because when you go to the daily, you can tell that price is starting to sell. It may equal lows here. Well, not equal lows, but close to it. We know they're going to take this out. They're not going to keep this here. Why? Because I told you there's a lot of money here. They're not going to keep here. Everybody see this. Everybody see this. 1, 2, 3. They're like, oh yeah, we can take this up if it stops and rejects here, which it did and gave them one counter and then push back down, right? And it's for swing traders. People who are swing trading, they have a box and they swing trading, they're looking to get in this trade, not realizing that they're coming to take this money. So we established that we're selling, right? And by the way, your 13 and 50 crossed down too, so you know you're selling too. Even though within this pullback, it's still pulling back. We're selling. So we go to the lower time frame. We're coming off a box here. We have made a lower low. As you see, price came down, shifted down, and now we haven't broke the high of this area here. I'm sorry, we haven't broke this high here. So if we haven't broke this high here, we already know that we're probably still in the selling trend. Until price breaks above here, we're in a selling trend still. So once we understand that, we go down to the 15, and I have that area marked if I'm not mistaken. Let me take this off. Here we go, right here. So price decides to start shifting. I'm going to mark this up. And you know what session this is? This is London session. Price starts shifting and then start dropping.
Beautiful M there as well.
Huh?
Lovely M there.
Right. Price starts shifting. Now, if you're waiting on your 13 and 50 cross, here go your order block here. As you can see, there was an order block here too. Now, I know you guys like, well, what is an order block? You know, how you really understand these order blocks. How do you know you can just pick that one? Well, like I told you, if price, it's the candle before the shift of the market. So this candle shifted the market. And why do I say this candle shifted the market? Because it broke the low of this area here, if this makes sense. So I'm going to show you what I mean. On another time frame, this was a low. So let's mark that area there. Let's see if they let me get back to that area. Let's mark this like this, right? And I'm gonna go to the 1 minute. This is gonna, I'm not gonna go too much in details. I'm gonna explain this a little later, but I just want you guys to understand why I'm saying what I'm saying about this area. I don't want you guys to, you know, because this could get a little confusing as we get more into details on this move happening. Let me get to it if I can find it. Let me back it up. Let me go back to it. Let me see if it'll let me find it. All right. Let's see if they go back to it now. All right, so I can't go that far back. I can go to the 5 minute possibly. Maybe it's on the 5 minute. All right. But I will prefer the 1 minute, but oh well. We'll just use that if we have to. You can still see it on the 5 minute too. All right. So as I stated, this is the area where I said price was at, right? Boom. It shifted out of this area here, as you can see, right? Remember I told you this was a low. Mind you, I was on the 15-minute chart, so that's why it looked like this and it's coming down. The market shifted and broke the low of this area here. It broke the low of this area here. And I can do that, but I'll keep it here like this and then mark this high here because now, you know, as the market go down, if you're on a 5 minute, you want to make sure you catch all the wicks and stuff like that. But the market broke the low here. Once it broke the low, it came back to retest where it broke at, this candle here, right? Can you guys see that?
Yeah,
man.
man.
Make sure you're following. Okay, so yes, price price came back and broke back above and retested this order block right here. Now, I usually don't use small candles like this, but you can use it because it's considered still an order block because that's the last candle that price broke off. You want to demand area, however you want to do it, okay? Price broke down, came back up to this area here, and then that could have been your entry here, right? The entry could have been there. Price came down and shifted and went back down. There's a couple ways you can take this, but like I said, sometimes this is how I take it. But I know for people who use the 13 and 50, this is why I have it on the chart so you guys can understand also how to take it on the 13 and 50. The 13 and 50 is here.
Yeah.
You had your cross. Price shifted down. As I told you, what did price do? Price broke the low of this area here. Right? Once it broke this low, it's coming back for another, it's coming back to retest and drop. And as you can see, when it retested this area here, You could have put your stops above the 50 or right above this. I will put it above the 50, and you could have rolled this all the way down. From the higher time frame, you took it from the 4-hour structure that you seen price was shifting from a sale. So are you guys following me so far?
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
probably would have
So
taken my
also, yeah.
entry on the you know, the engulfing just to the right, just below, and then it pins it.
Say it again, one more.
Sorry, so the engulfing just to the left of your mouse, to the right.
To the right here.
Sorry, there, that one there. I
Yeah.
probably would have taken it on that pin retest to the right of
Yeah,
that.
that one right
Yeah,
there.
that
Retested
probably
here
probably
too.
my entry there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I said, they're going to happen consistently. It don't even matter which one it is. As I stated, from experience, I can see that if price shift past this low here, we're breaking low. I'm basically going to give y'all what order blocks is. It's basically, I ain't gonna say they basically this, but they're all it is break and retest. Okay, it is a break and retest on a lower time frame. So if I'm on a 4-hour, I'll give you an example. If I'm on a 4-hour, right? And if I'm on a 4-hour, right? Say I'm on a 4-hour, guys, and I go to look for an order block on the 4-hour, right? Let's look for one that actually retests the area. So we have one here. We have one here. I'm gonna mark the high of this area and the low of this area here, right? Price broke out of here. You see, price broke out of this structure here. This is on a lower time frame. This is a high, right? This would be a high on a lower time frame. If I go to like the hour chart, maybe on the hour chart, it won't go that far back and we can see it. Here, as you can see, this was the high, this was the low. Price broke out of this area here. Where is it coming back to retest? See, on the 4-hour, we trying to figure out where is it retesting exactly inside of this candle here. This candle here is where it's coming to retest. Somewhere in this area. Where exactly is it coming to retest? Well, all you have to do is go to the lower time frame and find that area where it's going to retest. Now, this is a little more advanced, but this right here would explain a lot. Here's the order block right here. That's where it came back to retest inside of that 4-hour structure and take off. Now, like I said, this is a little more advanced when it comes to reading, you know, the charts and how it works with the 4-hour and instruction. I'm not gonna go too much in detail. I just want you guys to understand the concept of how to actually break down these order blocks when it comes to break and retest. Okay, now that's just that. If you want to just take order blocks, guys, if you're having issues with understanding identifying order blocks, we can go to the 15.
Sorry guys, would you mind muting your mics?
They cannot fix it. Why?
I'm
Don't
sorry.
ask me why, man. Those questions are often answered.
Sorry, mate. Would you mind muting your mic?
They cannot. Why? What?
I'll mute him.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your bridge, but let's go over here to the 15-minute chart. All right, so if we go over to the 15-minute
So
chart,
basically, just before you move forward, like, you know, basically you will look at the higher time frame,
yeah,
and then identifying the shifting candle, and you go down to the lower time frame to find where it is retesting.
exactly. So I can give you an example. If I zoom in on this right here, boom, right? This is, if I know that they shifted above this area here, right? I know they come back to retest. You know, they taught us break and retest this area. No, they're going to probably break and retest the order blocks.
Yeah, man.
That's the difference in the trading. You know what I'm saying? When you understand that now, you're like, what? Okay, I know now they're going to retest an order block. And even if they do break the order block, my stop loss is so much smaller than having a 30 pip stop loss.
Yeah. But literally, when we were discussing it the other night on Telegram, it kind of clicked. I was like, that's where support and resistance is. It's not like, you know, the highs and the lows. It's the order blocks. It's crazy.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So price is going to go do that over and over. How can I get an even better entry? I'm going to show you guys how I get down to I can get down to the 1 minute with this. you know, and even lower than that on TradingView, I can get down to like 15-second order blocks. So this here came down and broke up and retested this area here, right? That would have been a perfect trade for you to get that entry. But if I'm trying to find a smaller stop loss, I can refine it. Like I told you, I can refine it and go down to a smaller area, such as this, right?
Yeah, that's where
Now,
I'd be at, I think, on the 5 minute,
and as you can see,
on the 15 minute.
price came right back and tapped into it. When price tapped into this right here, how do you enter this trade? Well, I told you guys, if you want to enter it, how I would enter it, I do a confirmation on the 1 minute. So make sure you put your stop loss in that area. Here we go right here. So what did price do here? Price broke above this area here. All I would do is mark the high of this area here. And why I'm marking this high, because this is the last area where the high is at on the market. And market has to shift above this area for me to even consider looking for buys, right? The market shifts above that area. I already know it's in the order block. You could take it here. You could take it as soon as it shifts above this last candle that was the high of this area. You could take it here and put your stop below this area now. So as a result, you have an 8 pip stop loss and you have a takeoff that went crazy. So yeah, this is like, I don't know, one of these trades, this is the whole point of this. One trade like this, guys, 129 pips, or let's just say you caught 60 and you got out, whatever it was, you still like 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 7s, right? At the end of the day, if you take any losses, your losses should be very small if you're refining it all the way down like this, because you're going to take 3 pip stop loss, 4 pip stop losses and stuff like that. But you're not going to, you know, when you do win, you win pretty big. So this is the whole point of taking order blocks. Order blocks is not telling you that you're not going to lose any trades. Okay. It's just the fact that if you're taking it with the trend, order blocks is going to help you to make sure that you are doing proper money management. Because if you're taking order blocks is only one candle most of the time. It's only one candle. It's not 6, 7 candles. You got one candle. If it breaks that order block, it's going to the next order block, or the next institute. The banks are going to the next area a lot of the times. Now, I've seen sometimes where they'll shift a little bit below the order block and then turn around, and that happens. But through studying and, you know, watching it over and over and watching other people over and over, you know, with order blocks, guys, it's going to work. It works. Just you just got to know the trend. See, a lot of people take order blocks in the wrong trend. But if I know that we're buying on this time frame, it makes it easier. Now, for people who don't understand order blocks and how can I really understand how to trade these order blocks? I'll give you an example. If we know we're buying on the 4 hour, right? If we know we're buying on the 4 hour from here, price shifts above here. Where are the order blocks? I'm not getting in this trade unless it retests this order block, or this order block. And if it shoots all the way up like this, I'm not getting in if it comes back down here. It's just don't went too far away. I don't, that's considered like invalid, and I'll just let it go. But here's a high here. Here's a high here, right? Price breaks above it. Price breaks above this area. Where are the order blocks? There's an order block here. And price taps right into it, as you can see. There's an order block here. So let's move that out of the way. So it broke this high. Broke this high. What are we waiting on? The order blocks are here, 1 and 2. These are the order blocks where price is at, where the money is at. Now, like I told you, sometimes they don't hold. But if they don't hold, that's okay. Your stop loss is so small. Do not hold the trade. Get out. You had a 13 pip stop loss if you took it on the 15. But I told you how to, you know, go lower time frame and even make that even better on a lower time frame. If I go to the 5, I can possibly make that even smaller, such as right here like this. No, that's the wrong area. Right here.
The way that I've been finding to have a really tight stop is on the 15, if after prices retested the order block, if it closes below the 13, even if it stays below the 13 or closes below the 13, you can put your stop loss just above the 13, which is normally like 5 to 10 pips. It's like kind of like 5 pips stop loss, sort of 7 pips stop loss, and price tends to just like drop after it retests.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some back testing on it. I never thought about that theory you just said. Let me actually, I'm gonna look at that in just a second. Give me 1 second, all right?
Oh yeah, calm.
I'm definitely gonna look at that right now because that will be another way to enter that trade. Because
I'm really quite conservative because I hate losing. My psychology can't handle it. So if it retests the area, drops and stays below the 13, you can tend to enter and put your stop loss at the 13 because the 13 is normally around like the middle of the order block anyway.
Yeah.
And it ends up really tight. Probably get it even tighter on the 5 minute, but I like 15 because that's what the beat the market maker, teaches and that sort of thing. But
right.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna look at that. So let's just look at that from now at this one right here. So in this area here, technically would you have gotten this trade here?
Would you mind zooming in? Where are we?
Right here.
After that engulfing, yeah. So yeah, because the green candle wick retests it and then it closes below the 13. My stop loss would have gone just above the wick.
Yeah, above this wick.
And I would have gone probably no. So yeah, so the candle to the right of that, I would have entered on the close of that candle with my stop loss just above the wick of the previous candle.
Oh, okay, so and you're selling too, so that was another thing.
And I'm selling.
So yeah, I would have been looking for a buy here because of the order block.
Fair play.
So that's
that's like for me would be just a cheeky 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1. And then like when it hit the other border block, I would have flipped my bias. But it's kind of like you just really small moves that I like to go for.
Okay,
so,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Actually, I'm gonna have to do some back testing on that.
I'm sure you'll improve it massively, and then can you let me know?
All right, yeah, I definitely want to check that out. So, here we go. This order block here is the one I would have been looking at. Here, guys, right here. So, potentially, I have a 6 pip stop loss right here. So if I took this trade here, guys, and say I lost this one, right? Price broke down and shifted out. I broke it and I lost. And the reason why I say, if I lost this one, I was, seeing some people, and I know some people who are like 7-figure earners who just trade this way. They lose, but they lose so small, like less than 1%. They're not even risking 1% on this right here, because the moves that you catch on this be crazy. So on a 6 pip stop loss, guys, it went in total. That was 40 pips on the first initial push. Now you got to expect a pullback. It broke the high of this. So I know a lot of people get nervous when they see it pulling back. It just broke this high. So it has to pull back to an order block to keep shifting up. It broke another high. It got to come back down here and retest this order block. And now we're shifting down. It comes back down. If once it breaks this, you should be taking partials. Take partials, comes to another area, it breaks above here, but there's nothing here. So I probably wouldn't have took no partials. My second partials would have possibly been right here at this order block here, or right at this low here. I mean, the support that turned into resistance right here. I would have been looking at a area there to look for my second area where I've been taking my second partials here, but it didn't get there. But price decided to shift back down and break back below, come back down, and then start shifting back up. You see? So this whole move, technically, you never got taken out this trade if you held it, but price did shift up. And that's the whole point of you're taking it from the higher time frame move. That was 70 pips on a or less, more than that. I went from there, but this was a 90 pip move. It went a total of 90 pips. You probably want to call it all that, but let's just say you caught about 70, 80 pips of this, and price decided to start shifting back down. And all it was doing was it broke this area here. Like I told you guys, it broke the high of this area. Where are the order blocks? Right here. Right here. And like I told you, remember I told you they will shift down a little further down more than the order block. And it's actually an order block here that they probably came to retest too. And as you can see, price shifts back up. So don't be nervous when you see them breaking the high and then pulling all the way back. They're pulling back to an order block. First thing you need to find out is where are the order blocks? Where are the order block areas at? Guys, if you take this and you what I just showed you guys, I can go, and the reason why I'm on a 5-minute, because I want to show you how to work this chart, how to do this. Let's go over here to the 1 minute on Bitcoin. Where Bitcoin at? It works on Bitcoin too, right? So as you can see, this was my entry right here. Why was this my entry? Because I went to the lower time frame and I was trying to find an entry within that area to get in that trade, right? And as you can see, when I seen price shift down here, why did I pick this area here? Now this is a little more advanced, but I'm going to tell you why I got in right here. You see this wick here? This wick is telling me that this is the market is there's a red candle in this area here. Now I will go in detail on this a little in another video, but this is more, a little more advanced when it comes to how to read these. But as you can see, price came off it and shifted off, right? And where price been going? Up. How did I take this on the 1 minute? Guys, I told you, once it breaks structure, I'm automatically looking for where are they going? Where is the area they're going to retest? What did it do? It broke this high here. Price, I don't care if it wicks and barely touched the top. If they shift it this way, think about it. If they shift this way and they're breaking up from the higher time frame, they're buying still. I'll go you on the 4 hour. You can see when this happened, they was buying. It was going up, right? If I go over here to the 1 minute and I show you, I'll go over to the 1 minute and I show you guys, hey, they're shifting up in this direction. I already know they're shifting up. They break a high, they're not going to break the low. Why wouldn't they break the low? Because that'll be going against their move. Now it's money here that they still haven't came and got, that they will be coming to get eventually. They could be, and they could wait years. It could be, it could be whenever they want to come back and get that money. They don't have to come back and get it right now. But as you can see, price shifted above. Right here, I'm sorry. Price shifted above here. Once price shift above here, I'm immediately looking for order blocks in the direction of that trend. We know we have one here. This is an order block here. This is an order block here. I didn't take this one. The reason why I didn't take this one is because I didn't like how small. I don't like really small like that. That's really not the area I would be looking to. It'll have to shift all the way around. But I took this one because I knew, based off this area of what I've learned from some advanced traders, this is a very strong area. I took it and it shifted up. Now, as you can see, guys, and when it hit here, it turned around and went all the way up. You had a very small stop loss on, let's just say on a standard, this is, I think, $60 or something like that. You had a $60 stop loss. This is $670 right there. It went up on the 1 minute chart, just off catching this move. Even if you got out right here, once it broke this high, you could have took partials when it broke this high. That's the last high. You take partials there, knowing they might pull back. This is the area they may pull back. You see, I had this marked up. This is the area they may pull back here. They did pull back, but they went down a little further and decided to shift up. I told you guys, they do that a lot. They like to shift down and go down, especially when you're on a lower time frame. So you need to maybe have your stop loss a little bigger on the lower time frame if you're going to be taking it from lower time frame. But it works all in the same. There was an order block right here, but price never, I don't think price came to that. No, price didn't come to that. It was close, but price didn't come to that. So they decided to push off maybe on a 15-second, 5-second, or 30-second. There was an order block within this area that they was able to tap into and keep going up. And that's the reason why market shifted that way. But market go from order block to order block, guys. It shift from order block to order block. So when price came back into this area here, let's just say you had a bigger stop loss than, you know, because of the spread and so on and so forth, you don't get stopped out. You could have actually possibly had it here, maybe this, and covered 2 order blocks, because that's 2 order block areas. If they're that, and it's on the 1 minute chart, so it's probably not that big. It's probably like a, if you was doing a standard, that's like almost 20 pips, which is $200 on that chart, and you're going for a bigger move because you're coming from the higher time frame. You already, if you already made $600 here, a $20 $200 stop loss is not going to hurt you. Price shifted back here, went down a little further, and then shifted up. Once it breaks this high here, you could take partials, or you could have took partials when it shifted this high. It came back, broke up, it shifted above this area here. You could have took partials here at $400. That would have been half of that, would have been 200, and then price shifts up and finish up here. I'll let the rest run, and then it takes all the way off, all the way up there, and now we're down here at this area. So yeah, this how I will be looking at the order blocks, guys. When price breaks and goes above structure, I'm looking for the order block. So I'm gonna break it down again. If we go down to the 4 hour, we want to know, identify what's going on the chart. We're selling. You see price broke this area here, broke this structure here on the 4 hour. We're selling right here. Price shifted down here, right? So immediately I want to go to the lower time frame and try to find out where can I get an entry within that area. And as you can see, price shifted down immediately through this area here. Now, let's go to the 5 minute. Let's see if we can find an entry. If I can't find an entry in there, guys, I don't take the trade. I want you guys to understand that. So here's the shift here. Price decides to shift. I think, oh, let me go back to it. Let me go back to it and make sure I got it right. It's right here. I'm sorry, it's right here. So if price shifted right here, right? This is the last candle of that shift. Right there. Price shifted and took off down this way, right? Now, remember what I told you. How do we get in these trades? Well, you see this candle here? This candle here broke the low of this area here. Now, when I go to the 1 minute, I want to know if they're going to let me go to the 1 minute. If they let me go to the 1 minute, that'll be awesome. Hopefully, they let me go there. Let me back up and see if they let me get there. Unless it's too far back. You know, sometimes they don't let you get there. I think it's too far back, because if it wasn't, they would have definitely showed me that area where the line was at. Yeah, I'll have to make more bars, and I'm not going that far back with the bars. But anywho, so if you see, where is it? Right here. If you see price shifting, it's price starting to shift down. Price starts shifting down here. But as you can see, when it shifted down, price broke below here. It did come back and retest. But where did it come back and retest, guys? It came back and retest on this candle here. Where within this candle here. So if I can go to the lower time frame, maybe I could have found an entry in here and got in this trade and took it down.
I probably would have taken that entry, to be fair. Like that pin there,
yeah,
I would have entered on the close of that candle with my stop loss above the 13.
Right. And you possibly you would have been good, and you could have rolled this all the way down. And that would have been a very nice trade, you know, then at your 13 and 50 are widen out and price is shifting down. But I took that from the higher time frame. Same thing here. I'm gonna go to another pair. I want to see a pair that actually, you know, work out really well, that I'm talking about, because I know it works. I just have to see prices already. Friday, price was doing some very, very, you know, extravagant moves. Here we go here. All right. We have a potential high here. We had a high here, right? We had a high here too also. So we'll go here. We had a high here. What did price do? Price shifted above it. Once price shifted above, it's coming back to retest a certain area. Now, this is why I dropped down to the lower time frame, because it helps me out with these trades when I want to get in this trade. I don't want to enter on the 15. I want to make sure it don't do this. You know, I don't want to make sure it don't do this and then keep going. I want to catch this move all the way back up here. All right. So how do I catch that? I told you I go to the lower time frame, and then I line my lines up, you know, line it up a little better. I refine it. Right now, when I go to the 1 minute, let's see if they let me go to the 1 minute. They should let me go. I ain't that far back. Where is it? It's right here. Let me zoom out one time. You can even refine it more on the 1 minute. This move here, you could have got in here. This was a 2 pip stop loss, guys, on Euro USD. You had a 2 pip stop loss. It went up 8. I mean, that's not considered a lot. If you got a standard, you're supposed to adjust your lot size according to your trade. So if you was trying to risk 1% of, say, and you was doing, you know, one of the challenges, and you had a $10,000 account, $25,000 account, whichever one, $10,000 account, let's just say you was risking 1%. If you was risking 1%, 1% of 10,000 is $100, right? You're only risking 1% of that. 1%, $100. You're risking $100 on this, which means you will have probably 5 standards. Now I know you see people do 5 standards, like, what are they doing? They probably trading from the 1 minute chart or a lower time frame so they can have a very small stop loss. 5 standards, you got $100. That's $100. You out of this trade if it goes 5, you know, past that. And then it shifts up 8 pips. So you take about, I think, $400 off that. Yeah, you take $400 off that trade. Or let's just say you're doing a 1 to 3, as what I do. I do 1 to 3s. Or I would have shifted to this order block. That would have been my take profit. I know they're coming here. They came right here to this order block and drop down. Not saying they're not going to keep going up, but they're shifting back down because they have to come and fill. They filled this in. Now they're coming back down, and they're coming to fill other areas in, and they're going back up. So this area here was enough for me to be like, okay, I got 8 pips here. There's an order block here. That's 8. That's $400. Even if I took 300 or 400, I'd have been out. All right, I'm good. From there, you could actually win the challenge doing this strategy here, dropping down to the 1 minute on order blocks and taking them, and just, even if you was using less than that, if you was using 1%, less than 1%, you using a standard. If you was doing a standard, you were risking $20 to make 80.
That's what I'm most excited about, is the fact that it's like when you're getting sort of like less than 5 pips, less than 10 pips stop loss, you can pass the challenge in a day.
Right. And you can
It's
actually,
crazy.
I know a lot of people who are doing this, and they're, you know, doing pretty good with the order blocks. It's simple though, guys. It's simple with the order blocks. It's just that, like I said, when a lot of stuff, we sometimes make things difficult for ourselves. But if you can line these up consistently, the order block shows up consistently on a daily basis. They show up every day. That they're there all the time. So it's no point of looking like, hey, I'm gonna lose the trade. I mean, or miss a trade. I never have a point where I think I'm gonna miss a trade. If I missed it on that time frame and I know they're shifting, I'm just going to go down to the lower time frame and find an entry on there. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go down to the 1 minute if I have to and keep going. If you look here on GBP USD, right? I had this mark up. Now I've been waiting on this all week. I actually was asleep, I believe, when this happened, and it did not let me get in this trade. I should have put a pending, but a lot of times I don't like pendings all the time because they don't tap in. But as you can see, it was an order block right here. I was looking at it when it was down here, right? And you can see these areas marked up because that's what we just did earlier. What did price do? Tap directly in it, touched it, and went directly down on the 4 hour. I'm in on the daily. This is a daily order block. They're a lot more powerful than lower time frame order blocks, right? So what I mean by that is when I go down here to the 4 hour, you can see price tap right into there and drop. From here to here, guys, this is 49 pips, right? If I go down to the 15 and I go to that area, I believe it's right here. I can move this out the way. I don't know why this is popping up. All right, let's go over here to the 5. Let's see if we can get over here to the 5. All right. As you can see, it tapped right into it and decided to drop. Right? Price came back up to retest and decided to drop. Now, how you know is you could do this. Like if you see price push all the way up like this, and then you see the green candle before the move shifted down, that will be your area. Now, I don't usually use the green candle. That's more advanced, but you can use the black candle, the top of this black candle, and move here like this. Okay, just like that. And like I said, in other videos, I will get more in detailed on this. But as you can see, price shifts out all the way out, comes back into it here. Stop loss is above here. And this drop 34 pips and it's still dropping. And I believe it's going to drop all the way down here. You will be up pretty significant already. This could have been partials here and price is still shifting down. So yeah, this is the power of, you know, taking order blocks, because order blocks on all time frames. They're on every time frame, the monthly, they're on the daily, they're on the weekly, they're everywhere. So how I start my day is I go straight to the daily first. If you guys want to know what I do, I go straight to the daily and I mark up my order blocks on the daily, right? I mark up my areas on the daily, and that would tell me exactly where I'm going. So at this area here, I would have been looking, okay, so right now, if we don't break this high, we're just ranging. This is what I'm thinking. We're just ranging. But we did break this high. As you can see, price broke this high here. But this is considered why I'd have been looking like, okay, well, I would mark this. I want to mark this high area for order block. I usually mark the bottom part of this area for order block. So I would have looking for a shift all the way back down into this area to take that trade. I don't really like this big candle, even though it's considered. You can use it as the last candle that make the market shift. You could use it, but because it did touch it here and then shoot off, as you can see in here, and shot off. But I would prefer to just use, you know, the bottom part. But there's other ways I told you can enter this trade, not just one. How do I know what they're going to do? If I'm doing instant market data and I want to know exactly what they're doing, well, price has been broken the top of this area here. If I go on a lower time frame, you'll see what that looked like on the hour chart. Maybe let's see. Let's find that area. If I can find it, let's mark it up first and see if I can find it then. Right there. All right, let's go to the hour then. I can probably find it better now. Oh, we got to be in. Oh, it is now. All right, let's go back to the daily. Let's make sure I can find this area. It's always difficult for me to find this stuff like I want to all the time, man. All right, it should be here now. There we go. This happens all the time, guys. As I told you, this happens all the time. What did price do? Price broke above this area here. As you can see, this was the high. I had it marked up. Price broke above this area here. Where are the areas that price can actually come and fill? Well, this is one. And I told you, this is one here too also because of this imbalance here. Price decides to push down, comes right into this area here. The last order block is way down here. I didn't know there. I'm pretty sure if they done broke all the way, and they broke this hour structure, as you can see, right? Do you see this? They broke a potential structure here that price was here. It broke above it and came down to this area here. Now they could have came to these areas here, but they didn't. They decided to come here. And you can see, how do you know they're going to stop here? Well, you can see them rejecting off this area and then shift the candle right back up to the top of this area, wick people out at the top of this area, because that's what they like to do. They like to get these people out before they start to shift. And then they pull it back down. People who had the small stop losses got taken out, and then price came right back into here again and then shifted off. Now, let's just say you didn't take that one and you was like, well, I want to, extra confirmation. Price broke this high. Where could price pull back to? Well, price could pull back to here, to this order block here. Or this order block here. You could have had both of these marked up just to be, safe with your trade, and price decides to shift all the way down in this order block and then shift back up. And as you can see, you will be in this trade right now. If you got in, well, first off, I usually do this right here on that small candle like that. And you shift down here, you had a 20 pip stop loss on the hour chart, about a 20 pip stop loss, and it shifted up already 95 pips. So you already caught 1 to 3s already. The 1 to 3 was already hit, but you can see how you're looking at a break and retest of a structure area and looking for that trade. Same thing here, guys. It happened over and over. Here's the high. What did price do? It shifted above. Immediately, once it shift above, where is my entry? Being that this is a full candle, you can do this here. Boom. What did price do? Came back and tapped into here and took off. Is this making sense to you guys?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so because I just want to I'm opening it up for questions. Any questions anybody have?
So basically, just to get an accurate entry, what are the criteria once again to identify the order block and the accurate entry? If you can just refresh it again once again.
Okay, so here we go right here. I want you to understand one thing before I get into this. We are in the game of trading. The best traders in the world are, what I've seen, that makes millions and billions of dollars. They're 50 to 60%, right?
Yeah.
I want you to understand that you may take a series of losses, because I think that's the concept. The psychology part is the part that mess people up. If they see 2 or 3 losses in a row, they're a little nervous. And it's nothing. It's not even about being nervous. If you're don't think about it as in losses. Think about it as in risk to reward, guys. That's the most important thing. Your risk to reward is the most important thing. If you're risking 1% to make 5% and you lose 3 in a row, you win 1, guys, you're up still 2%. You win again, you up 7%. And you can see how people continues to keep growing their accounts because they're risking less and making more. Sometimes you're going to get 1 to 30s if you go to the 1 minute. There's times you can get 1 to 30s because you're taking it from the 4-hour daily chart and you caught it perfectly. You can get a 1 to 30. That happens. So in the midst of that, am I going to tell you you're not going to lose? Yes, you're going to. If you're going for 1 to 30s, guys, the higher your risk, your reward is, the more likely it's not going to go that direction for that amount of time. Let's just be honest. That's a long time. So what I'm trying to get you to understand, guys, if you can back test this order blocks in the direction of the trend, which I'm going to explain to you again on how I look at it and how I find the trend and so on and so forth, you guys can make a lot of money with this. Now, and I'm not going to say money until you make a lot of pips, so you can get a lot of RRs, a lot of nice risk to rewards. So we're gonna go back here to the 4 hour, right? We're buyers based off this box, right? We're buyers. It's coming off a box. We're buying. I can even mark an area that was more solidified. Let's go down here. We're buying here, right? We're buying. Price is shifting up off this area. How do we know it's shifting? Well, I told you guys It's breaking the highs. It's not breaking lows. This low is still here. It's shifting up. So price is shifting up. All right. Now go to the 15. Now go to that area and back up a little bit. See if it let me get there. There we go. Price is shifting. Price broke the high here, which was probably a box. There was probably a box here. Price shifted above this area, right? Where is my entries of buying or selling? No, buying. I'm sorry, buying. Only here. My only entry is here. I'm not looking to get in here of the retest of this area here. There's no point for me to get in there. Now, if you jumped in here when it retested here and got in, yeah, you caught a move. But I'm not saying that that's like a 50% strategy. That strategy is about 50%. I just don't like the fact that, you know, from back testing, I've seen they come to the order block a lot more, and that's where the money is at. So I tend to, you know, focus on the order or what they're going with the order block. That's just me personally. So as we can see, they decided to push up into this area here, right? I mean, back down into this area here. What did they push back into? This area here. This is my confirmation here. Once I see this, let me go back. Let me go forward. Once I see this, if you want to wait, you can wait. If you see them coming off this, you can wait for them to break the 13, break above the 13, and break above the 50 if you want to, and then put your stops below here, or below the previous candle, something like that. However you want to do it. It depends, but they shifted here. Now, if you see that your 13 and 50 ain't crossed yet, right? Your 13 and 50 ain't crossed yet. There's another way you can get in this trade too. And I told you guys, you shift down to lower time frame, because on the 15 it may haven't crossed, but on the lower time frame it did. If that's the correct area, yeah, it is. So here it crossed over here before it crossed on the 15 because it's a lower time frame, right? Price decides to shift back above this area. You could have got in here and put your stops below the low here, because you know this is an order block here that they already retested the order block on the left. So they may not want to break this low here, because this is an order block that they, you know, confirmed that's where their money is at. You could have put your stops below here and rolled this up too. And it did shift up. I told you it broke a high. It's always coming back to retest these order blocks on this time frame once it breaks those highs. You know, broke this high here. What did it come back and retest? This area here. Broke this high here, came back and retest, maybe an order block on a lower time frame than the one that's not on here. Broke this high here, came back. There's an area in here that decided to fill. This is an area had to fill. So there's another thing, guys, you need to understand too. This is an area that needed to be filled. This whole full candle, when you see big candles like this going up, they have to fill this area in. They have to come back to it. That's why you see, when you see a bunch of green candles just going up, they'll come back and fill this area eventually. I hope that makes sense. That'll be another training if you guys understand the areas that need to be filled. But yeah, guys, if they go break and retest, your entry is here. If they don't retest it, you don't have a trade. Okay? Simple. If you go over here, and the reason why, that's why I put the lower time frame boxes on, so it can help you guys. You don't actually have to use that one. You can use any of these boxes, guys. You can use any of them. They don't have to be that one. What I'm trying to get you guys to understand is, if they're breaking lows, if they're breaking down from the higher time frame, from the 4-hour or the daily, you look at the 4-hour and daily, we're selling on the 4-hour and the daily. We're selling. This is a sale. We're selling. This is a sale, right? We're selling down. I'm sorry, yeah, from here. We're selling down. From here on the daily, you can see it selling down. We're coming down. This is all this is just a pullback. If it's a pullback and you see it buying up on the daily, where is it going? If you see, say you got in, say you was looking at this chart, right? And you seen these green candles going up on the daily. You know they're going. Where are they going? Can anybody tell me where they're going? And
To
somebody-
the box,
Huh?
to the box, to that supply zone,
No.
or else to the order block.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, to the order block. They're coming to this order block here. They have to come back and retest this. That's where they're going. So you know, right off the bat, you're still in a selling trend. They just coming to retest this to get this, grab this money, and then come back down. Once they get in here, you instantly turn your antennas into a sell automatically. Once you see them pulling back and this candle in, or however do, if it start wicking down, you can go look for an entry then too. But if you see that like that, and you see price shift up like this, there we go. It's shifting up right here. This is the 4 hour where it shifted up, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's it. Yeah, shifting up here. It start making order blocks to the downside. Look, break of structure, break of structure, break of structure. You see them breaking down low. These are all areas that's being broke down at a lower time frame. They broke this area here off the order block. We see them hit this order block area, and that candle ended. Now they're starting. It was making higher highs. As you can see, they never broke the low of this area here. They broke the high of this, came back and retest somewhere in here within this candle on a lower time frame and shifted up. Here we go again. Price decides to break below here. What did they come back? They came back to retest here. But if you go to the lower time frame, you could possibly find the area exactly where they retesting, because they did not just retesting a certain area of the candle. It's a lower time frame area that they're retesting on that candle. So let's go and put this on here right here, okay, so I can see if I can find it. Right there. Let's mark up this one here just to be sure. All right, let's go to the hour and see if I can find that area. All right, we have this candle here. Let's move this out of the way now. We got it. All right. What did they do, guys? They broke below. What did they come back and retest? Right there. Look at that. Look at your stop loss. This is all from the, you went all the way from the daily, but you zeroed all the way down to the hour chart and was able to get a 12 pip stop loss, or about 15 pip stop loss on the hour chart, which is significantly good. And you caught this whole shift of 120 pips within about 5 or 6 hours. The price already shifted. Now, don't be nervous. You see it pulling back. You like, oh, it's pulling back. Where is it pulling back to, guys? This area here. It broke this low. It has to come back and retest the area that it broke, the order block. There it goes. It's grabbing the orders again, shifting down. Boom. Decides to shift and break this low. Grab some orders in here. Decides to shift down again. What did they do again? They came and grabbed and touched this order block here. Shift down again. Break the low of this area here. They broke the low in this candle here and shifted back up within that candle and came back and retested in there and then took down. That's a little more advanced. I'll explain that in another video. Same thing here. Broke this low. What did they do? They came back to retest somewhere in here that we don't see on the lower time frame and then shifted down. This is how the market moves, guys, consistently over and over and over. They break the low of this area here. Where's our entry? Our only entry is here, guys. It has to come and retest this. What did it do? It came and retested right here. Shift it down. That's significant, and you can do this on any time frame, guys. This is 76 pips. Like, is this starting to make sense to you guys?
Oh yeah, but how
Yeah.
you exit the order block? If you get into any order block trade, how you gonna exit, or how to determine where you can exit?
How do I exit? You asked me how do I exit?
Identify your or how you will determine where you can exit out of the order block.
Okay, so I
trade.
go to the next area, the next order block. They go from order block to order block. I'm either going for the next order block, or if the order block has been filled, I'm going to the break. I know they're going to break the highs. If there's a consistent area where price is at, I know they're coming to grab that liquidity. Liquidity is always above the highs and lows, so I know they're coming to get it. They grab it. That's where retailer traders put their stop losses. So they're coming to get it. If I'm looking to take a trade, right? Say I took this buy here. Say I was looking for a buy here, right? Price decides to shift above, broke the high of this, came back to retest, and came back in, right? I get in this trade on a lower time frame or something like that. Where is my point of why I'm looking to get out this trade? Well, it could be, I could be taking partials here because they already, I know this is an order block here. This is another area I'll be looking at right here. I'll be looking at this area to see how they react off this area. They broke through it. Once they break through it, I'm looking for my next area of where price hasn't been retested. Price hasn't been retested. Price retested all this right here. Price haven't retested this area here. That could have been your area of confluence of that trade from there based off the daily. I'm pretty sure that's why I shifted like that. You could have actually took this all the way up and just been taking partials. Could have took partials here. You could have took partials here, or you could have took it here when it broke this high here and just let it ride. This could have been your last spot because this is the last area I see where price can go. I'm sorry, no, this one here. This is the last area price can go. There, because they haven't retested this area. You see it broke through here, but never came back and retested this order block. So they shifted all the way up here and broke a wick way up here and then decided to shift down. So if you've seen this and you had your order blocks marked up, guys, you have your order blocks marked up and you see this happening here and you see it shifting down like this. This is a really good trade. That's a high probability trade. And you're going to be like, you know, happy that you caught that trade because you can see you caught the shift of a move. This happened all the way in August, guys, August 20th. They just came back to this area in September 20th. They came back September 20th, guys, and it's been dropping since. That's 427 pips off that move. So you can see order blocks are being respected, guys. They respect order blocks. Some don't get respected. Like just like I said, let's just say you had this order block here marked up, right? You like, if they come back here, I'm gonna take a trade, right? They came to this area and broke that order block, right? Let's just say you took it from the 4 hour, guys, and they broke that order block. Then you had this one marked up here, and you like, if they break this one, if they come to this one, I'm taking this one. At that time, you're like, if they come up here, I'm looking to get in this trade. Where can you be looking at interest to get out this trade? Well, your interest, you got this trade is right here on this order block here. This is an area they haven't came back and filled. Based off, if we were just looking at the chart and they only had this part here, this is the only thing that's here. Not all this is not here yet. So you only see this order block here, the last order block here, and you have an order block here that has not been filled, right? Those are the areas I'll be looking at. What did price do? Price came all the way up here, guys, and shifted. You had a say if you just traded 4 hours, you trade a 4 hour daily, you had a 65 pip stop loss on this trade. Now, I told you guys, I know how to get lower time frame. I go to lower time frame and get less than that. But let's just say you trading off this, you had like about a 70 pip stop loss, and it already dropped 424 pips. Guys, that's crazy. And it's still dropping. You know, you've been holding it for a month. You've been holding this for about a month now, and it's still dropping. How do you know that? You know, you've seen the choppiness on this chart, but you look on the daily, it's not choppiness. You see that wick? It ain't no choppiness, it's just straight drop. It was just a straight drop from that candle. Same here. See that? I'm sorry. This is the candle here that made the straight drop. Remember what I told you guys. You see this wick on the lower time frame, there's an order block in here. You can see the wick. This is the same area we just marked on the 4 hour that was marked up on the 4 hour that price decided to shift off of, which is here. See this? On the daily, that's an order block. That you don't see that. But on a lower time frame, you do. And price shifted off here and took off. You could have been holding this trade from the daily chart and just been holding it because there's areas price haven't filled. You could have got out here when this order block here because it haven't been retested. It just got retested right here. and you had enough to, even on the daily, I'm telling you, you're going to get a move on the daily. If you get an order block on the daily, it's going to do some type of movement that way on the lower time frame. Here, guys, this is enough. This little move here is enough to catch some pips if it's rejecting off of it like this. This is about 38 pips. I would take that any day if I got a small stop loss on lower time frame. If I go to the lower time frame, I have a 5 pip stop loss. Even here, it just didn't shift there because the whole order block is here. It shifted 95 pips in total and then turned around. So there's enough to make some money there on them order blocks on a daily chart. It's just that you got to be patient because it takes time for the market to get back there. It don't just automatically come there. I hope that makes sense.
Are they support and resistance lines you put there? I know I come in a bit late, so I don't know what you're doing with all these lines on here.
Oh no, these are order blocks I'm marking up.
Oh right, that's okay.
Yeah, so we mark up order blocks. If you're trading from the like I'm so you trade from the daily and the 4 hour guys, Colin, you should be looking at 4 hour and daily order blocks only. Especially once you know the direction of the trend. Like I know you say boxes be getting broken, right? All the time frame boxes be getting broken. Like boxes be getting broken, right? So if you see a box, if you see an order block here and an order block with on the lower time frame from this area here, and that's why it came down and wicked up here and took off, right? If you go here to the 4 hour, like I told you, there's an order block here. If price breaks this order block, it's going up. If it don't break it, it's going down. And if you see it wicking down off here, you don't have to take it here if you don't want to. You can get another entry when it decides to reject off of it, and then you get an order block in that direction of the trend and then take it. You can do it that way too and lower your stop loss that way too. Here's another one. Price shifted off this area here and it retested here. That's perfect. That's a perfect one right there. You got a later entry, but you was able to catch that move. Right there. I go over here to like the 15. Let's see if they let me get there. Let's take that off. Go back to the 4 hour and then the 15 now. Let's see now. They should let me get there now. Should be popping up. That's a big move. You see? Wow. Let's go back to that area. Should be there. There we go. All right. Let's take this off. So as you can see, what did price do? What did I tell you price do? You see these imbalances in the market? It happens all the time. This is an imbalance. Price shifts all the way over through here. They have to come back and fill this area, right? Where's your order block? Right here. Price actually taps it, guys. Like, look at that tap. You had a 10 pips. I think it's like a 10 pip stop loss, if I'm not mistaken. No, you have about, I would say about a 15 because of spread, 15 pip stop loss. This pair dropped. This pair, look where you got in at and look where it dropped, how far it dropped. Do you see why it doesn't matter about the this is 300 some pips. You see why it doesn't matter about losses? These are the type of trades you can catch when you taking order blocks. Do anybody have any questions?
So far, so good.
Okay, so yeah, well, we've been going for about an hour.
Quick
Yeah, really
question,
good, dude.
sorry.
Say it again.
Quick question. So when we draw the boxes for the order blocks, it's daily and 4 hour first, and
Yes.
then
Yes.
okay, and then go lower.
Right. Yes. So you go to, because you don't want to, what I used to do is I used to go from the lower time frame when I first started doing order blocks, and I found out they was a lot of them getting broken, and I'm wondering why they're getting broken so much. It's because you're going from the lower time frame. The 4 hour and the daily, they get broken too, but they at least give you some type of move that direction from the lower when you drop down to the lower time frame. So my order block comes from the higher time frame first, then I drop down and narrow down and refine it to the lower time frame. And
Okay.
that's how it works. So if I have a daily order block I'm going to refine this order block. Like I said, this area here, I knew it was an order block within this area. So when I go over here to the 4 hour, I refined it here, right? There we go there. Now I got to tap into this area here. Now I go to the lower time frame and find an entry within this area to catch this whole move in the direction of the trend down. So yeah,
Your confirmation with the, sorry, you're gonna confirm it at the lower time frame with the EMA crosses.
yeah, you can confirm it with the EMA crosses. That's what you can do. Yes, you can confirm it with the EMA crosses. So once you get the EMA crosses, guys, you can definitely look for order blocks within that trade on the 15-minute chart, because I'm pretty sure they gave you some, and you could have been looking to take those trades. Now, a lot of times you're going to see this happen, guys, and I want you to understand this. This is going to happen. Price is going to break a low. You're going to mark up the order block where price is at, and they're going to do this. They're going to shift above. Now, you're wondering why are they shifting above the order block? The reason why they're doing that is because they're grabbing the liquidity up here too also. That's what they like to do. So there's no, like I said, there's no way you're not going to lose some trades with this, because they're going to do that sometimes. But you being that you're risking so little of amount, if you feel like say if you're taking it from lower time frame, you can risk less than 1% because of the trades you're catching is very big. So you could risk 0.3%, but you're catching, you know, you're still catching 5R or 7R or 8Rs. Look at that. Price shifts out of here, price shifts down, comes back into it, and you in this trade, and you catch all the pips that you just lost on that little candle here if you took this trade and it broke the order block. You still have to,
which you are giving here.
5-minute order block.
say it again.
It's also reacting off a 5-minute order block. See that down move? Well, just before all that consolidation is.
Right here.
No, way over left.
Right here.
Whoa, no, down. Down a bit more. Whoa, yeah, just up slightly, up a bit more. Yes, there. See where them two wicks meet, where it went down, come back up, and then you have the new candle drop down. There's an order block in there. I think the 5-minute.
You talking about right here? Within this area, right?
Yeah, just in there.
Okay.
It's reacting, I think, on the 5-minute.
Oh, let me see. You may be correct. That's the only reason why I believe it would actually do that. And that's it right there. You're right. That go to area right there. So you're catching on now, Colin. That's it right there. So on the 15, there was an order block that was here, but on the 5-minute, there was an order block here that price came back to retest, and that was the area that price broke out and decided to shift down to this area here and break down.
Also, we can as a M and Ws. That's another confirmation.
Yeah, you can use M's and W's, but M's and W's are the half.
So, like for instance, in this example here, the second part where the box is and where the actual drops happen, it is to the far right, where you know the box is.
Right here.
Yeah, over here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you saying like the M right here? Yeah, you could take that if you like I said.
Far left here. Yeah, where is your cursor is? That's the starting of the M.
And then down and then up, right? And here.
It is the beginning of the actual drop.
Right. Yeah. If you want to take M's and W's, it doesn't matter. That still work. I told you. You just want to take it with order blocks. That's like I told you. That's the halfway of doing it. Just taking an M, because you see an M, you want to take it. That don't necessarily mean that's not where they're, because it's a bunch of M's everywhere. If you put a zigzag on the chart, there's M's everywhere. M's and W's everywhere. The point of this is finding where the money is at. Where are the money? Where all the money at? If you can find out where the money at, you're good. That's how it works. So as I stated, you could have got an entry there if you wanted to. There was an entry here that Colin pointed out right here that would have been the best entry possible that you had right here, because you caught this whole move all the way down completely because you marked the order blocks up from the higher time frame that it marked off. Now, when you taking, like I said, when you're taking these order blocks, just make sure you pay attention to what's going on the charts, guys. Make sure you pay attention. Make sure you know that sometimes, like I told you, demo it, whatever, you're going to lose sometimes, but don't get discouraged because you're losing off order blocks. It happens. It's going to happen. There's nobody that's 100% trading order blocks. That's not the point of that. The point is to risk the least amount to make the biggest move possible with the order blocks. So as I stated, this is coming off a box. It broke the low here. Did it come back and retest anywhere? No, it didn't. So we're looking for the next area. This level here, this was the level here. Price broke below here. It can come back and retest within in this area. Colin found the area where it retested, which was in between here, and decided to shift down, which was higher than these highs here that people had here. That depending orders that was probably here, they grabbed all the orders up here and shot down. And guess what? That was possibly London session or New York session. One of those areas in between this area, the drop. I think it was still London. So all this stuff I'm showing you guys is still between London and New York. Those big moves are still happening between London and New York. They're not happening most of the time in Asian time frames and stuff like that. They're happening in New York and London. I'm just going from the 4-hour and daily and showing you that the market does it consistently over and over and over. If you're getting confused, you can just mark up order blocks in direction of the trend and take those too. You don't have to do all that. You could just say, hey, if shifted off this area, broke a high, I can mark this area here. If it come back and retest this area, I'm looking for a trade, so on and so forth. You can just do that if you're getting confused on the order blocks. But I would tell you guys to keep looking at this training because I did record it so you guys can understand how to trade the order blocks.
Any
Yeah,
specific
these are going to be
pairs
brilliant.
or indices to consider when, just instead of wasting time, any specific pair or indices to consider when trading order block? Because there are plenty of indices as well as FX pair.
It works on all pairs.
Yeah, but I mean, spending a lot of time looking into all pairs or all indices. Do you recommend any pairs or indices to look at throughout the weekend before starting the week of the trades?
But do I recommend that what pairs you should be looking at?
Yes, yeah, that's what I mean.
What do you mean by that? What you mean, like do I recommend?
Instead of wasting time, go through all the forex pairs and indices.
Do I prefer a pair? Or I look at GU, Euro USD, USD CAD, AU USD, and GBP JPY. Sometimes GA, but I don't really look at GA that much, not anymore. But those are usually the pairs I'm looking at.
Like if you're trading London session, well then it'll make sense to trade the Euro and the GBP pairs. If you're trading New York, well then look for the USD and the CAD.
Yeah. Yep. So
trade them
USD
pairs, because if you trade Asia, well then trade the Asian pairs. But I don't trade them usually unless it's like a GJ or a GA or something.
Right.
Okay, sounds good.
So that's what I basically pay attention. Mostly in the morning time, we're looking at NAS and we're trading NAS in the morning time.
Morning time, you means like London session?
No, New York session. I'm trading
New
New
York.
Yeah, I'm trading New York with this specific strategy when it comes to breaking retest order blocks and stuff like that on NAS and indices and stuff like that. But we all know that's a different beast of its own.
Yeah, I can't get the hang of them indices yet. I try marking out. I can mark out the US30, but like it doesn't come back to retest very often. It just
Yeah.
sort of carries on.
Yep, that's what happens a lot. You have to like with the indices, you have to like really like break down to like the 1 minute and like find the engine, the way of that trend, because it'll come back to it, but it would take literally a day or two for it to come back to that area or something like that. It'd be crazy. So yeah, like my girl, she's a little more, experience when it comes to trading Nas and these US 30 pairs, stuff like that. I'm just getting into it, really like getting into it because I haven't really been trading like that. But that's what she usually look at, and I trade it sometimes with her. But that's about it with that when it comes to that. But like I said, guys, I recorded the video, so you guys are able to watch the video. I'm definitely going to post it in the group. We'll have my girl post it in the group later on today. And do you guys have any more questions or any questions before I get off right now?
For me, it's okay.
No, I'm good. Thanks. I'll watch the video here because I've missed like most of it anyway. So, but I'll
Okay.
pick it up. If I have any questions, I'll write to you in the chat in the group. Sure.
Okay. All right. No problem. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, it was really very helpful. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
That's right. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
All right. Cheers.